Hey everybody, my name is Colleen Yanez. Thank you so much for signing up for my webinar. I'm sorry that you missed it. I wanted to give you a little sense of what we went over so that it can still make a difference for you and for your team. And I'd love to hear back from you if you would like to talk further. So just a little bit about my background. I've been in education for 25 years. I was an administrator, special ed teacher, and also a general ed teacher. I got into the world of executive functioning when I started hearing some of my students talk about that homework was taking them forever, and I knew they didn't have that much. It was an 8th grade class. They were not eating well. They were up all night on their phones. And so I started to put together some key strategies to support them in their worlds, and all of that together, listening to them, coming up with targeted strategies. And I just started giving them out to my students just to see what would happen, made a huge difference for them in their lives. So that's how I got to be where I am today. And what I want to look at now is your teen's independence score. So I'm going to put a quiz attached with this video. And what I'd like you to do is go through and take the quiz. It's 25 questions, which sounds long, but it's really not. It takes about 2 minutes to take. It's on a Likert scale. So 1 to 4 on each of the questions. And when you're finished with the questions, what you're going to get are 2 things. You're going to get your teen's independence score, and you're also going to get an area of weakness or challenge, which is where I would start if I were working with them to support them in their independence. So go ahead and pause the video and take that quiz, and then come on right back. All right. So what you should have received are 2 scores, and your score should tell you, the first one is going to tell you where your teen falls on a scale of 0 to independent. And if they're in the red, they have a lot of room to grow. And you might consider that, I don't know, maybe there's something else that they might need as support, depending on their age and that sort of thing. A more typical area would be the yellow and the green. So finding their footing or stepping into independence and needing some more support would probably be who I would expect to be coming to the webinar, because you can get skills that can support your teen and right away. And then if you fell into the purple, confidently independent, then I think you found my webinar by accident. And I'd love to help you, but I don't know if this quiz is going to be that, which does it. So the way I look at those results is, number one, it's not scientific. It's informational, and it provides a baseline for us to start having a conversation. But it also reminds me of, what is everybody out there dealing with? I'm guessing that you're tired of nagging, reminding, helping your teen figure things out, feeling like you're doing everything for them all the time, and feeling the weight of their world along with your own, and maybe your other kids as well, riding on your shoulders. Now, the dream, of course, is to have a teen who knows what they're supposed to do, follows through what they're supposed to do, and generally just, does what they need so that they can be a properly functioning adult in the world. But really, that's not where it stops. Where it stops, and where the big dream is we all want teens and young people that can be fully functioning adults without needing tons of adult support, and knowing that they're going to be great, not just okay, but great for the rest of their lives. That's really what we're after. It's not about, sure, middle school and high school, that's the avenue to get there, but it's really that bigger picture. And, a lot of people wonder, okay, is that possible? How can we even do that? And I truly do think it's possible. And I think it's possible if we look at what's called executive functioning. And let me pull up my executive functioning model here. All right, so this model is from Peg Dawson's Smart But Scattered. Great book, great resource. She is amazing when it comes to executive functioning. And if you look at this diagram, you'll see that the foundational executive functioning skills. So let me back up and say what executive functioning is. Executive functioning is, if you look at everything there, it's a lot of processes that allows individuals to regulate the ways that they interact with many of their environments, all of their environments. That might sound like a lot of jargon, and really it is the brain's operating system. How do we meet goals? How do we complete tasks? How do we do all those things that we as adults do on a daily basis? Without a strong foundation of executive functioning skills, all of the interventions in the world may not help a student experiencing those academic, social, emotional, motivational, independence challenges. And what that looks like is, well, they're falling behind academically. They have behavior issues. They're giving up. They're acting out. And on the inside, they're experiencing self-esteem issues, lots of negative self-talk, risky behaviors, and of course, it's going to take away from their independence. So if we go back to what I was talking about before, about how teens really can become independent, it is my belief that is through pinpointing their weakest or multiple weak executive functioning areas, putting in skills, repeating those skills when we teach it to them, modeling for the teen that they really can not only grow their intelligence, but they can grow their independence, because they are going to have the skills for the things that are getting in the way of them of being successful. And they are now at an age where they have developed lots of habits around what to do when those areas come up as challenges. Sometimes they do become the class clown. Sometimes they do become angry or blow things off or give attitude or, take classes that are well below their academic level and academic potential. And that's all in the way of saving face, because if you remember your teenage years, that was really important. Belonging and making sure that you fit in. So my point is yes, they might be experiencing a challenge in independence, but if you can pinpoint those executive functioning skills, and that is part 2 of the quiz. So in part 2, you'll have their area of challenge and 1 or 2 strategies you can try. I think that right there alone can make a huge difference. Now, just a brief overview, and I will go in and talk more about executive functioning skills and the way they can help and all those kinds of things. But until we talk, just keep all that in mind. I really do think it is a huge area that's overlooked. Schools don't have the time or the resources to teach executive functioning like it needs to be taught, and teens can really benefit from it. What I do is I have virtual and in-person coaching. I work one-on-one with families. I work one-on-one with teens. Teens can go into groups. I also have online programs that can be purchased. I have apps that help facilitate, or one app, not multiple, help facilitate family conversations and all kinds of things that can really support your teen becoming more independent. Thank you so much for your time. And I will also put in my booking link, and I would love to chat and just talk about your needs and your teen's needs and how I could potentially help. Thanks. Have a great night.